How's it going? Sorry you haven't heard from me from a century or two. I moved out of state and was doing over-the-road truck driving for a while. Worked for a company called Quality Companies. They essentially recover leased trucks. They lease out trucks to people and companies, and if payments aren't made or circumstances arise to where someone can't keep the truck or whatever, they send a recovery team out to pick up the truck and bring it back. And these are semi-trucks, so they're all owned by companies like PTL and are, you know, leased by those companies. Our company was the one that leased them out to them. So not every company owns all their own trucks. A lot of them lease them, rent them or whatever. So the company decided they wanted to get rid of their fleet of trucks, and we'd go out and we'd pick them up and bring them back. They leased up trailers too, so a lot of times we came back with a truck and a trailer, and the company was located in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we ended up going out in a van with a bunch of other drivers, like 6 other drivers, 5 other drivers. The van driver would drive us down to Atlanta or Memphis or, you know, wherever to pick up the trucks. Went to Pennsylvania, North and South Carolina. Most of them were in Atlanta though, because that was the furthest you can go and most likely to get a trailer or something, and you can actually get more money, because they paid you by salary, and then $100 for every truck you picked up and another $50 for the trailer. So everybody was eager to work to make that extra money, so did that for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and then I moved back home, but ended up going back over the road with another company called Out West Express, and that didn't work out so much for me. It wasn't the company, it was more me. I just didn't like being in a truck cooped up. And then there was the fact that whenever they sent you out on a run, and this is with most over-the-road companies, I've heard that they got one person scheduling all the loads that you're supposed to pick up, and this person will schedule them according to zip code, so they don't know the exact mileage that it takes to get there. They don't account for construction and detours or whatever. So a lot of times you have time to get to your first load, and then everything piles up on after that, and then you start being late to your second and third and fourth loads, because, you know, like I said, everything piles up. So then you gotta call your dispatcher, and he's gotta reschedule everything, and it's just a hassle. And I just kind of got tired of being late all the time, because I'm the type of person that don't like to be late. So it got to my nerves and drove me nuts. After about 2-3 months of being late all the time to my loads, I got tired of it and couldn't take it anymore. So I ended up quitting that job, and I was looking for a local job at home, and I found one hauling like lime to coal mines in Illinois and stuff. So I did that for about 3, 4, or 5 months or so, and it was a company called Rowlett Bros. They were similar to any kind of company you have that has those pneumatic trailers, which hubs are like hatches on the top of it and hatches on the bottom, so you can drop the load of powder. You hook it up to a line, a hose line, and then it just, you know, the hose line just sucks it all out and into the mine, so the miners can use it for fire prevention in the coal mines, so they don't, you know, have a fire incident. So all it is lime, the same stuff they use to make concrete. So I did that for a while, and I worked my butt off, worked 14 hours a day, but fortunately this company was a little different. It didn't pay you very much at all. They paid you by load, and it wasn't that much even with that. You just couldn't make the money with the company at all, no matter how hard you worked. And they didn't pay you by mile. They just paid you by load. So no matter if it took you all day to do one load, you just got one load, and that was like $125 for one load. That's all you got. Let's not forget the taxes they got to take out of there too on top of that. So that didn't work out. The reason I'm giving you the history is because we're coming up to the story that I really want to tell you, and that's with UPS. United Postal Service has a good retirement, good company, big company, does LTO, which is pulling doubles, 2 trailers. Well, that was where I was so excited to work for them. I thought, oh, I could finally find a job I could stick with and, retire from, and, one that I can enjoy doing and stuff. And I did enjoy working there. Oh my God, I loved it. It was great. But it was seasonal. And what UPS does is they'll hire you seasonal to start out. And you work for 3 or 4 months, and then you're laid off. And then you come back for another season. Your seasons are usually the Christmas season and the summer season. Well, I came in October on the first time in 2018 for the Christmas season. And it was wonderful. I loved working there. You got to hook up your trailers. You have to hook up your own set. You do not load the trailer. They do that themselves. You hook up your trailer and you take off. You go to your hub, another UPS hub. You unhook your trailers and hook up another set of trailers and bring them back. I mean, you're home every night. It's long hours, but it's not hard. It's really not hard work at all. I was able to do it without any problem. I enjoyed working on it. It was a lot easier than doing the line job that I did with Rollet Bros. So, well, they laid me off on January 18th of 2019 for this, for the season was over. And I knew it was coming, so anyway, I got laid off, and I was looking for other work, but I was kind of wondering, I should have found me just a small job like I did with Rollet Bros, but I was so fed up with Rollet Bros and not, the pay, and it was a small company. I didn't want no mom and Paul company. So I looked into one that was actually hiring, and that was the post office, the United States Post Office. And I thought, okay, well, I can work for them for a few months, see if I like it. And if it's better than UPS, I'll stay with the post office. If not, I'll go back to UPS. No big deal. Well, went through the hiring process and took them till May before they started their orientation. In the meantime, UPS was willing to call me back in for the summer season. So here I was in the middle of a decision between 2 jobs. I had 2 jobs almost at the same time because I was doing orientation for the post office. And I was like, gee, what do I do? What do I do? So I started talking to the post office and asking them, do we have to unload our freight? Because we have to haul them from the main hub in St. Louis, which is downtown St. Louis, and take them to the little surrounding post offices around the city. So I asked them, do we have to unload our own mail out of the trailers? They blew off the question. They did not answer my question. Somebody else asked the exact same question. They did not answer that question either. So I should have walked out, but I didn't. My back was really hurting me at the time. And you'll see another video of me talking about my back and the back pain that I had. And for some reason it was blowing again. It was acting up, and I couldn't figure out why it was acting up when I didn't do anything to strain it. So, long story short, my back was really hurting, and I worked all day at the post office at the orientation. And Jason calls me up from UPS, says, hey, we got some work for you. Would you like to come in? And I'm like, well, frankly, I can't. But then I made a mistake and told him I was debating on going to the post office. And he said he understood. So they fired me immediately. So I ended up with the post office and didn't go back to UPS. And long story short, my back was just hurting way too damn much. I could not could not do the work. I mean, I physically could not do the work. I was having muscle spasms that were hurting so bad, and I was taking muscle relaxers like candy, popping them like candy. It wasn't doing anything for the pain. And this was like a 13 out of a 10 pain level. I was really screaming and crying. I was hurting so bad. So then, long story short, I go to my doctor and he gives me some different medication, but it still doesn't help. 3 weeks into the job, I had to quit. I just couldn't do it. My back would not let me. So then a month without employment, then I go to YRC Freight, which I'm with them now. And they were a good company. They don't have you hook up your own sets. You just jump in the truck and go. They got other people doing it for you. So that's good. So then I stayed with them for about 6-7 months till like November. And then in November, come and behold, my back just blows out. I mean, I end up in the ER. I can't figure out why I'm in the ER. My whole upper shoulder is hurting, which back spasms are right between the shoulder blade and right around the bra strap area. So it wasn't that area, but it was an upper area. And my whole right arm was just numb. Everything. I couldn't feel my hand. My whole right hand numb. Bicep and tricep muscles and hurting, and the back of the shoulders, the shoulder trap muscle in the back of your shoulder behind your neck is hurting, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I go to the doctor and they do an MRI, and they come to find out I have a herniated disc in my C6, C7 vertebra, which is right at the bottom part of your neck. And I'm like, really? And he said, yeah, and those muscles, actually those nerves rather, are the ones that run the muscle spasm area, the area where I've been having a lot of pain for the last 6 months. Because the whole time I was working for YRC, I was in pain. And I thought it was a pulled muscle. And it would start getting better, and then it would just get worse again. It would start getting better, and then it would get worse again. So, anyway, they discovered it was an MRI, or any MRI discovered it was a herniated disc. So I had to go on short-term disability with the company. So I go on short-term disability, and I get a few bucks every week for being on short-term disability. You don't get much, but it was enough to float me. So then I ended up getting off of my short-term disability and ready to go back to work. I had surgery on February 19th, and it went wonderful because I had back spasms on my way into the ER, or my way into the hospital. I had back spasms. 24 hours before the surgery, I had back spasms, and they were excruciating. They were more frequent, they were more intense, and I was like, oh my God, this is just killing me. I was screaming and crying in the car on the way into the ER. I had my mom drive me in there, and I was in the back of her Traverse, just laying on the ground, just grabbing hold of a cloth and biting it with my teeth. I was in so much pain. I was crying, I was screaming. It was just so excruciating. But then once they did the surgery, I haven't had a back spasm since. They replaced the herniated disc with an artificial disc, and I just can't believe it. I mean, I was unable to ride the bike for over a year, and now look, I'm back on the bike. So I am so ecstatic that I'm able to get someone. So anyway, my company I'm with now lays me off for the coronavirus thing, but UPS is hiring. So I thought, oh, hey, I get to go back to UPS. Oh, wonderful. I was so ecstatic. So I go into UPS, fill out the application. You know, they give me the email. Hey, your application was approved. Welcome back. We'd love to have you, blah, blah, blah. You know? So I go inside the office, and this is in North St. Louis. So, you know, it's a little bit further drive than where I'm at now, but that's okay. I really love the company, and I enjoyed working with them last time, and I wanted to be able to have this be the one company I could stay with, retire from, you know. I don't have to go job hunting no more, deal with that crap. I hate dealing with that. So anyway, I go back in, they look at my resume, they look at, you know, where I've worked before, and they're like, well, you quit in the middle of the season. I said, well, that was 3 weeks in. Explained the surgery situation, explained the back pain, explained everything, and just told them, you know, I wouldn't have been able to stay anyway because of the back. And it would have been worse if I was with you guys anyway. So in a way, it was kind of God sent, you know. It was ordained, in my opinion. And I just felt that, you know, there was a reason for it happening that way. It happened for a reason. So, anyway, make a long story short, she looks at the resume and she's like, well, you went to USPS. And I'm like, well, yeah, so, well, that's our competition. The FedEx and the United States Postal Service is our competition. We don't hire people back who've gone there. We figure they're traitors. And I'm like, I am not a traitor. Oh, yeah, you're a traitor. You went to the enemy. You betrayed us. So, long story short, I didn't get to go back to UPS. So, the point of this story is really simple. If you want to go to UPS, I don't suggest you do that if you got the post office on there. Well, I mean, I guess if you go there for the first time, you could probably do that. But if you can do that for a season, you work with them, whether it's package car handling, there's Rollet Bros where I used to work. And that's the trailer I used to haul. Anyway, if you go there after you've gone to after you've been there one season, and you go to the post office in between, or the FedEx, and you quit, you know, not that they weren't mad because I quit in the middle of the season. If I had gone somewhere else besides the post office, they probably would have let me come back. They would have forgave me and let me come back. But because I went to the post office, they considered that's an act of treason, and you're not welcome back. And it's not like, I don't think I'll be able to ever go back there. So the moral of the story is to let you guys know about policies from UPS. It's a good company, and if you could stick with it, you know, they have an excellent retirement and everything. You just have to be able to work with them for a couple seasons, and then you can get on full time. Takes about 2 or 3 seasons to do it, and you know, I've talked to other seasonal drivers, and they said they'd made up to $30,000 a year just doing the seasonal. So there's good money in just seasonal work, and if you get a job temporarily somewhere else, you can always go back, providing you don't go to the FedEx or the post office. But I think it's ridiculous. I think that they should be happy to take you know, somebody away from their enemy, but they take it very personally, and I am very upset. I mean, I'm not angry upset, but I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in them for that. That's unreal. But that's their policy, and that's what the moral of the story is to let you guys wanted to get it out there and let you know where I've been and all this. There's YRC. That's where I work now. They just laid me off. She's a city driver. But anyway, just let you know about UPS's policies and everything. And I know it's not really important to a lot of you, but I just thought, you know, I don't want you guys to go through the same mistake I made and go to the post office and find out you can't go back and this and that. I mean, it's not the end of the world. There's other companies out there, shoot. But I really enjoyed working for them. I love the company, and you know, it's not easy to find a company you love to be with. It's not. And, you know, it was a difficult thing I went through, and I did not know that this would be considered an act of treason, or else I would have never gone with the post office and never even gave them a try. And if they had told me up front during orientation that yes, you have to unload your freight, I would have walked out, because I knew my back way it was at that time. There's no way I was going to be able to do that. So YRC more or less saved my life. You know, I was able to get work, and I didn't have to do any strenuous exercise, meaning hooking up cassettes or loading the trailer. I just jump in the truck. They have it all pre-tripped and everything ready to go. All you do a walk around pre-trip, make sure they hooked it up right, and then off you go. Wherever you're going, you just go. And then when you get to the next hub, guess what? You just get your stuff, get out of the truck, and they check you and put you in a hotel for the night. And then the next day you might head back to St. Louis or even go somewhere else. But every night they put you in a hotel. You don't sleep in the truck. It's a day cab. So it's a good company, but unfortunately their stock is really low right now. If you check out YRC stock, you'll be shocked. I was shocked. And I don't know how long the company's going to last. I hope it lasts. I mean, they do have, you know, they are a union, so is UPS. UPS is a union also. So, FedEx is not a union. Post Office is a union. So, you know, it's a good company and everything. It's just that I'm just a little worried whether or not it's still going to be around, because Quality Companies is gone. They went out of business. I jumped ship before the Titanic started sinking, because they were making so many changes over there in Indiana that I just couldn't keep up with all their changes. They changed the company name twice. They started selling all their assets. So I was like, you know, I'm going to be smart and jump ship before the Titanic sinks. And it's gone now. It's already underwater, and a lot of people are out of work. So it's 200 employees that they had at the time they sunk. So 200 people are out floating in the icy cold waters. Okay, that's probably not a very good, nice thing to say, but you get my point. I just don't want the ship to sink along with this company too, you know. I just feel like I'm cursed. The company I go to, they go out of business. I want to stay with them, and I can't because they go out of business. And then the company I do want to stay with doesn't want me back because I'm a traitor. Well, anyway, that's it. That's all. I'm going to take up any more of your time. I appreciate it. Hey, if you like this video, hit the like button. I appreciate that. Help me get out to more people. There'll be another video coming up because I'm on my way into work right now. So on my way back, I'll be doing another video talking about something else that took place, and you guys will be shocked to hear about this one. But that one, I definitely want you to hit the like button and get that out, because that's going to be, yeah, that's you'll find out, trust me. Anyway, thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.